Hey, thank you for joining us for episode 10 of Fool's Banter Radio. This is a very special episode.
I'm your host, Brad.
I'm here only with Steve today because we're going to be doing something very special. How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You going to take that over for Keith?
Yeah, since he's not here.
So, Steve, at the end of our episodes, we like to do a little section where we tell all kinds of stories. So,
Yeah.
for the 10th episode, as a little special, we're going to go back and look at some of our best moments from these stories. Just to do something a little different today. It'll be good if anyone's listening for the first time or if they want to introduce the podcast to someone new. I think it'd be a good episode to listen to.
Yeah, great to do that because Justin just started listening to it. So I know we're getting new listeners. He hasn't listened to any but the last episode, so this is great for him to listen to all the stories.
There you go. Tell him to listen to this. So we're going to jump right into it with our very first story. So Edwin told us a very good story in episode 3 about how his dad was raised, something he had to do with the animals around the farm. Sometimes he had to go do stuff. So please enjoy it. Check it out.
He grew up with a lot of his cousins. All of his sisters were too old, but they would always lasso horses. They'd go out into the woods, and then they'd find. Because my dad's never been a good pet kind of person. He's always been super old school. Well, he's always been super old school with them. So they're not like the coddlers that you find nowadays. Like, oh, that's okay. My dad would whoop the shit out of an animal.
Thousands of dollars to get their cat.
No, like well, he's old school. He would teach an animal to do things by like hitting them,
Yeah.
And that's just how it was back in Mexico. But what they would do is they would train these dogs to go out and hunt these things, and every now and again, dogs would get mauled by mountain lions. So my dad would have to sometimes go with his cousins that are about the same age and go and find the carcasses and bring them back. But sometimes they would find that these animals were still alive, or that they were in the middle of a fight with a mountain lion, or that some of these dogs had chased a mountain lion up a tree.
And they're too far gone, huh?
Yeah.
Well, not always, but sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they're like, their bellies are torn up, or their faces just like, half gone. And
Just keep this.
My dad would be out there with a knife through the neck and just squirt it all out. But no, one time a couple dogs chased a mountain lion up a tree, and the mountain lion got so panicked they actually jumped down on the horse after my dad had gotten off of it.
Ooh.
And so it was like scratching the hell up out of the horse, and my dad, because he was panicked, I think he was 16 or 15 at the time, had a rifle on him and decided to shoot the mountain lion, missed, and got his own horse.
Oh my God! And then the mountain lion.
Well, he had to walk back, which was like 4 hours.
Dragging the horse?
No, he left the horse there because he couldn't, and one of the dogs ended up dying, but he brought the other dog back with him. And
so he
and my grandpa
the same 2 dogs that came back.
One dog and a dead horse.
I saved one of the dogs, but I killed my horse.
And that was the saddest part. My dad got his ass whooped by my grandpa because he got the horse killed.
You should have rode the mountain lion back.
Well, no, the mountain lion died because my dad ended up shooting that one too. But it's just the shit he tells me of, growing up out there, having to do that whole ranching life, milk the cows in the morning, fix up all the pens, the animals messed up. I'm like, hell, that's the life.
Crazy. Yeah, my dad.
So continue on the talk of dads. Our dad, Steve, used to play a little game with his brother back in the day. It wasn't a very safe game.
Yeah, but they didn't have computers and video games like we did.
But instead they had this.
Devil chicken looking things, yeah. Those bastards.
My dad and his brother, when they were kids, I'll never forget the story he told me. I was like, you guys are crazy, because he said, yeah, when we were kids, we used to, we had a really high-powered electric fence over by our house and everything. And what we used to do is we'd take a giant rubber inner tube, and we'd bounce up and down on the rubber inner tube while holding each other's hands and then holding onto the fence and trying to knock each other off. Because whoever would get knocked off would get shocked.
I heard that.
But we didn't realize that whoever get knocked off and get shocked would go through them and into the other person. So both of us got shocked. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's not a nice game.
That's how you played. Yeah,
that's how they played then.
So, Steve, you were a bit of a vandal growing up.
Only
a little
once
bit.
or twice.
Run around in parks in our next story, as everyone will see. But you had some good times.
Some very dumb time.
Let's listen to some stories of Steve's vandalism.
Man. Steve, did you ever get any little tussles like that with Matt?
Oh yeah, not so bad.
Like
so we actually drove by it on the way over here, but that big park where the dog park's at. So on the actual park side, they had this public bathroom. For some reason, me and Matt decided it was a good idea to destroy the toilet in there, and we destroyed a urinal.
How did you destroy the
Smash it with a big ass rock. We freaking destroyed it and flooded the bathroom.
Damn, Steve!
And then we just pieced out.
What are you doing?
I don't know. We always used to do
How
stuff
long
like
ago
that.
was that?
Oh, that was when
they
we
were
were like 13.
Oh, statute of
14?
limitations doesn't applies here.
Oh
so.
yeah, no. That was,
You gotta
I don't
go
even
for
think
it.
that
We
was
used to
like
like
garbage.
concert for me.
We used to light garbage cans on
See,
fire.
you guys
stuff
did that
by the
stuff.
Walmart.
You guys did that stuff like
Paradise.
at the house. So we would always do that other places. We always get in trouble. That same park one time, we were just riding our bikes through. Like it was completely. We weren't doing anything wrong. And then I guess it was the park ranger. I don't know why they'd have a park ranger at a small little park. It's like not an actual park.
But he is a park ranger.
Yeah, I guess he's a park ranger. He comes up in his freaking golf cart and he's like, "You guys can't ride your bikes here." We're like, "Oh, okay, well,
It's a park, dude. Shut
exactly."
the fuck
We're
up.
like, "What?" Where he's like,
You can't ride your little cart here,
He's
bitch.
like, you guys have to go all the way around because this side of the park you can't use your bikes in because people are walking on this side. We're like, okay. And then he starts driving and we just wait till he's almost out of eyesight and then we just start going back the other way we fucking came.
Damn, outlaws.
And we're just like, yeah, we're just riding our bikes, just chilling. There was like 2 other people with us, and then like I don't know, he's mobbing up behind us. We're like, fuck! We're just going as fast as we can, and we're like, we get
fucking
to the
Paul Blart's coming.
yeah,
after
exactly.
you.
That's exactly what it was like. And we like get off, we like jump over this little creek, like holding our bikes, like jump over the creek and get off the property, and we all like go like 20 feet off the property and turn around and stare at him, and he just stops, like, still on the property. And, like,
him off?
we just had to stare down with his park ranger. We're like, we ain't on your property, bitch.
So, you told a story about you being mean to Keith.
Oh man, all the time.
You had to see a man
I was an asshole.
Had to see a man about a tube.
See a man about a tube. Yeah. He had this coming. It's sometimes there's a perfect target, perfect shot, and you just got to take it. So we'll let them listen to it. Hanging out with Keith all the time. He was always one of those people who ran everywhere. Keith always ran. Keith was a runner. He'd run everywhere. He'd get excited and just run across the street or something. So hanging out on the street, we normally we're just messing around with stupid shit and everything. And I had this bike inner tube. Just a flat bike inner tube.
Isn't that the...
Hold on. No, this is Keith and me. This involves me and Keith. So Keith's on one side of the street. I'm on the other side of the street. We're messing around. Something gets Keith going to where he's going to run down the sidewalk as fast as he can. Just super book it. And I got it in my head that I'm going to chuck this bike inner tube at Keith. The shot could not have been more perfect. I chucked the bike inner tube from across the street. It flips around as he's running and catches right in between his legs. And he gets his feet wrapped on it, and Keith flies. He goes flying and face plants He's so pissed.
I don't think I face planted,
but I cannot tell you how perfectly I freaking chucked that bike inner tube, and it was one of those side throws and just like
perfect frisbee,
perfect bola shot, catching his legs and just
bola
flying. It's like those things you see where humans are the best hunt. I caught
the
Keith.
Most dangerous game.
Yeah, the most dangerous game. I'm sure Keith was quite a bit bigger than me, so I'm sure he chased me after that. But he had skinned knees and skinned elbows. And that was just the most perfect shot.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that was good. But
you know what's funny? I think somewhere time after that, Jimmy got me with one too.
This next clip reminds me that, I hate thieves, Steve.
Who doesn't?
But sometimes the thieves get what's coming to them.
In small ways.
Yes. Small painful ways. Check it out.
Bicycle.
So, Steve and I decided to go to the public library. And we're sitting inside the lobby. Well, first off, we ride Steve's little green bike there.
Got some sweet pegs on the back.
Sweet pegs on the back, yeah. That's important. But we didn't have a bike lock. So we went there for something, and we left the bike sitting outside in the front. But one of us was watching it at all times while the other one went in and did something. We were doing something in the library. And we were both at one point, we were both sitting in the lobby looking at the bike. And we're just chilling there, and this little kid walks up. Maybe, what would you say, about 3 years younger than you?
He seemed like he was probably... No, I think I was a little bit older than him.
Yeah, he's a bit younger. He was like 11 or 12.
Really? No, I'd say 10 or 11.
10 or 11.
He seemed pretty young.
Well, he was a short kid, but so he sits near us and everything, and
right next to you. Actually, I'm standing off to the side.
Yeah, and he's just kind of chilling. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" and everything. And then at one point, he looks at me and goes, "You ever stolen a bike before?" We're like, "No," and he goes, "I'm about to." And then who said it? You said it. I think you said you're gonna steal our bike, but I don't think he heard it.
He didn't hear me.
He didn't hear it, and he goes, okay, here I go. And so he walks out the front door, and as he's jumping on Steve's bike, I look at Steve and I go, "You gonna let him steal your bike?" And Steve's like in shock, like, is he really doing that?
I was like, is he serious? Is this a joke?
So, I follow him out the door, and he doesn't see me, and I walk up behind him as he's jumping on the bike, getting ready to take off. I grab the back pegs, and I flip the bike up with him on it.
Straight
and
up,
he
just
face plants.
Nosedive off of the bike.
Oh, and he goes, "Oh, what'd you do that for?"
I was like, "Cause that's my bike."
I said, "I told you not to steal our bike." And he goes, "Oh, that was yours. I didn't know." That was pretty good.
When somebody gives you a weird look, you probably don't want to do what you think you're about to do. If you
but my favorite thing was he goes, "You ever stolen a bike before?" Steve, tell us about the next clip.
I'll tell you the title of the next clip. It's a guy with shit on his pants.
I think that's all we need to know. When you were telling a story last week, and I cut you off about somebody you saw on a bus or whatever that like shit themselves.
Oh, no. I was just out on lunch break. So, yeah, good thing you reminded me because I completely blanked out. But no, I was just having lunch with my coworker, and we both went out to this sandwich place. And while we were just sitting there eating our food, like we had just ordered, we just sat down. There's this guy that comes in. I don't know where the hell he was dressed in, like full Walmart garb. And I was just like, I know those khaki pants. I know that dang dark navy blue George.
You're like, I live that.
Yeah, George brand. What the hell are they called? Polos.
Oh, okay.
And he was sitting there paying for his food, but he was like scratching his leg or something. That like made me look at his leg, and then he turned around, and then, like that's when I had to like do like a triple take, and I was still eating my food.
What?
So I didn't know. I don't know if like I could eat, because looking at this dude, it's hard to put it into words. But this guy had like a chocolate stain or a shit stain.
A Hershey stain.
Yeah, it looked. I think he did shit himself, or he was like in the process of shitting himself.
Like on his ass?
Yeah, or like maybe he just has like really wet farts that day and it just blasted his ass all over the
like
fucking.
soaking through his pants.
It was through his pants. Like it looked like he sat in shit.
Was it like dark?
But it was like smeared. It was like rough. I don't know how to explain, but it looks like this dude shit himself, or has,
or sat in a pile of shit,
or like I'm saying, he has like really wet farts and wears no underwear, or maybe I don't know. The dude was already big. The dude was already like unhygienic. Like I knew the type.
Oh, it was a big guy.
Yeah, well, not that big, but I'm like, he was just like, he looked like the kind of guy that if they shot themselves, you'd be like, all right, he shot himself.
Okay, that guy, yeah. Okay,
so that's what we got a picture. But I was there with my coworker. And she was just like looking at me because I was making these like weird ass look. I wasn't even talking to her at the time, and then she's like, "What?" And I'm just like, "Nothing." And so I took another bite.
I can't subject you to
and then yeah, I took another bite because I was hungry. And he turned over to like pick up some chips from like a lower rack, and then I'm like, "Hey, look."
There you go.
And she kind of like got offended that I was just telling her to look, but as soon as she did. She like looked over, saw it, and I'm like, look at his ass. And she's like, why would I look at it? And then she like looks at his ass, and then she's like, like there's like a little bit of like breath that comes out of her mouth because she couldn't even. And then she drops the sandwich and I had to walk outside the door. I had to go outside to console her and then have her come back in so we can finish eating.
You're like, it's okay, he's gone.
No, he was still there. He was like in line to pay for this stuff.
So I covered him up.
I was just like, oh my god! And then the worst part is he sat down nearby where we did, and
oh god! And tell me you didn't finish your sandwich. You couldn't have been that hungry.
No, I did. We both did. We both just like powered through that.
She finished it too.
But it was one of those things we actually ended up leaving because it started smelling. Like you got that faint whiff of ass.
So you confirmed it was shit.
But it was shit. Yeah. Towards the end of that day,
shit confirmed.
That dude crapped his pants or was sitting in just like warm shit. Or...
Get kicked in the face, nerd.
Dude, you don't like aliens, do you?
Aliens creep me the fuck out.
I hate you so much.
So Steve, hit us with this me being a bully to you when we grew up. We're growing up.
I'm sure there's lots of other fun things
about.
I could talk about, but there's this one particular time because we lived really close to the school we went to. They had like the playground and everything. It was me, you, and our friend Matt. And we're hanging out, playing at the playground. And I don't remember what happened, but I wasn't listening to you or something, and you got mad at me. And I was like climbing up on some jungle gym thing. I'm like, no, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm not listening. You straight up threw a rock at me, not meaning to hit me, but you pegged me right in the face under the eye with this big ass rock. Like, it was a big rock, too. And like, I was like, being a little kid, it seemed like I was like 30 feet in the air on this jungle gym, but I wasn't really that high. I didn't fall off, but
so
I almost did.
That a football player are.
You just nailed me in the face with this rock, and I'm just like crying and shit. I was like 8.
I don't recall it. Are you sure it was me?
You were so apologetic. You're like, oh my god, I didn't mean to actually hit you. I was just going to throw it near you. I'm so sorry.
I was a shithead. I probably did mean to hit you, just regretted it afterwards.
Probably, but yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to that story, but I don't even know if it was before or after, but I got revenge one time when you always used to scare me. In the middle of the night, I'd like get up to go to the bathroom and you'd be hiding behind the door and you'd jump out.
Oh my god, all the time. That we had the bathroom door at the end of this hallway, but right next to the bathroom door was this tiny little closet door. And Right when Steve would walk out, just as he passed the closet, I would pop out of the closet and go, "Rah!" Just get him every time, scare the shit out of him, make him jump.
Scared the hell out of me.
He just gets so mad.
There's this one time that year you were an alien for Halloween, so you had like it was like a super cheesy like big head alien,
glow in the dark alien mask. It was just the mask and just the classic.
with the big old eyes.
Yeah, classic alien, and it scared the shit out of Steve.
I would have killed you.
And I'm getting to that. So we had bunk beds, and I always slept on the top. Not always, but I slept on the top. And
you want to tell a story?
Yeah, I'll tell a story. One time, I popped my head down from the bunk bed, pitch black, wearing the mask, and apparently Steve thought I was just holding the mask down because he kicked the shit out of the mask.
It scared the hell out of me because this creepy alien face just looks over the bed at me.
I was just putting it down over the edge, but I was wearing it, and it was on my head, and he kicked me straight in the fucking nose, and I'm gushing blood and shit.
The inside of the mask is all covered in blood.
It served me right for trying to scare me straight. Ninja kicked me right in the face.
You were also a bit of a vandal when you were a kid.
Yeah, we kind of all were. We played with fire mostly.
Everybody loved to play with fire.
We tried to do some very creative things with fire. Eventually, it caught up to us, got us in some pretty big trouble, especially Keith. Yeah, check it out.
Or until we decided to make a catapult in the front yard and launch fireballs over his roof into the backyard. But it's right, we had someone on the roof with a garden hose, so he was going to take care of it. But we had gasoline, a basketball, and newspaper. We got it onto the roof, and then it just rolled back down. And then, but the hose took care of it, and then the cops came by. Luckily, they didn't see anything like that, and they told us that the neighbors are complaining about the noise. So we went inside, and we're playing video games, and I'm asleep, and I wake up to pounding on the door, and Keith and a bunch of these other fuckers are going, "Quick, pretend like you're asleep." I'm like, son of a bitch. And the Keith, it's his place, he finally opens the door, and like 8 cops walk in. And they're like, oh, that's when all the shit hits the fan. Apparently, these guys had a fire inside Keith's room. Had like a little barbecue. They were making some bombs. They had some 2-liter bottles of gasoline and shit.
Is that just what all suburban white kids do? I mean,
and I'm like,
shut up.
I'm like, son of a bitch, I was actually asleep, and I got in trouble for this shit because they all decided they're gonna pretend to be asleep. But finally, all these people, all of them said, yes, he was actually asleep. So all I got was community service for disturbing the peace.
Steve, you had some friends growing up, if you would call them friends. I'm not sure. But your other friend's dad had a very creative name for him. We'll just let everyone hear that very creative name.
Remember Steve's friends, a couple of Steve's friends, twins, that Matt's dad used to call the ice cream boys. The ice cream boys, Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry. One of them was Ben.
But there was Ben and Chris, and I was an asshole to them. I was such a bully.
So were we.
Like jumping on the trampoline, and I'd like kick one of them right square in the head and shit.
I broke my pinky. I got a boxing fracture punching one of them one time.
Wow. Like, I was so mean to his stuff. I literally... one time at Matt's, I was sitting there swinging this piece of a hose, and I smacked one of them right in the mouth with it.
Busted his lip.
Busted his lip. He was bleeding everywhere. Matt was like over there puking at the blood and everything.
I think he still hates the sight of blood.
Oh,
Jesus.
It was terrible, man. Just awful.
Those poor guys. People. I kind of feel bad. But to be fair, they were kind of assholes, too. And idiots. One time, we had gone from the middle of town where we were to all the way out to the middle of Sun Valley on our bikes. It's like an hour-long ride. And we just go up in the mountains up there. We carry our bikes all the way up to the top of the mountain where the radio tower is. And then ride down the other side and just go off in the dirt. And So we get to this big, huge, like dirt drop, and we're like, this is awesome. And we're like, be careful, there's like a rut in the middle of the road. You got to get over. We're gonna be going like 30 miles an hour.
We're going like 30 miles an hour.
No, it was intense. Everybody gets over it fine. The last person, we were like, oh, he's scared to go. So he goes and he just eats shit. And he's just like flipping, like bikes tangled up in
One
his
of the
legs.
ice cream boys?
Yeah. And he's flipping through the air and shit. And he's like barely
legs
misses.
are up
like,
in the air and
yeah,
shit.
he like barely misses, like destroying his face on a rock and dying. And like we're all like, holy shit. And like we run over there because we had been waiting. So we kind of like rode off a little bit. We run over there and he's like all fucked up. But like not too bad. Like he didn't break anything. And he's like, oh, it hurts so bad. And we're like, what happened? He's like, I couldn't slow down. I didn't have brakes on my bike. We're like, why didn't you tell us? None of us would have let you go. He's like, I just didn't have, like, he was the only one without brakes. He's the last one to go.
He cartwheels and shit.
He was, he's full on. Just like if you imagine a skier when they fall and they're just it was like that, only in the dirt with them tangled up in a bike.
See, when you didn't have brakes, what I did was you put your foot in the back tire, like right where it like folds over.
You don't do that when you're going down 50-degree.
Yeah, but
dirt.
if you put the sole of your shoe on the tire right there where your foot's gonna stop, it's still gonna break you.
Yeah, but it's gonna ruin your shoe.
Oh yeah, I didn't give a shit about shoes then. You're a kid, you don't care about your shoes.
That's true. You go through them in like a week.
Yeah,
fucking ice cream boys, man.
It's funny because like his bike was busted and it still kind of worked. Like it was jacked up and he like barely like rode it home. But we were going back, and of course we had to get up hills to get up there. So we're going down like a normal hill on the road, and he doesn't have brakes, so he's got to weave while riding with one hand because his other hand's all scraped up, weaving down the road. And it was long enough ago that none of us had cell phones except for his brother. And his brother's like, "Oh man, you're pretty jacked up. You want me to call mom?" He's like, "Yeah, call her. She can just come pick me up, and it'll be all right." And so he's on the phone. He like walks out to the side. He's on the phone. He comes back. We're like, "Yeah, what'd you say?" He's like, "Oh, I called my girlfriend." Like, what the fuck?
Was it a moto?
Is that what he called his mom?
Maybe, I don't know. No.
Fucking ice cream boys. Wouldn't it be messed up if this whole time we didn't realize that all this beating up and hurting of one of the ice cream boys was just on one of them? Just one of them. We got all the brunt of it.
Speaking of friends that aren't really friends, got a friend stuck in a river once.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I like it. Check it out.
The one that came to mind was one time, because there's a river that goes directly through town.
Obviously, the Truckee River.
Yes, the Truckee River.
That'd be the one you're talking about, correct?
That be the one. There you go, nailed it. And we were like at the main place where everybody went to downtown, and on the river, and it was a really warm day. And there's this whole long section of the river that's really shallow when you're on the sides. Mm-hmm. So we're like, all right, let's walk along the river. Yeah, I know, not anymore. So we take off our shoes. There's one other friend with us. We called him what did we call him?
Was it one of the ice cream boys?
No, it wasn't one of the ice cream boys. He was not there. We called him Sticky, I think. No, not Sticky. That was Keith's friend. It was something like that. I can't remember what his name.
Stinky?
Foamy, that was his name. Foamy, that was his nickname.
Did he poop himself?
No, it was because he would like
pants filled with foam.
There was a joke that he was like he'd get angry and foam at the mouth, but we called him Foamy. But we now you gotta get back on it. We're like, yeah, let's walk along the river. So we start walking along, and there's a whole section where like there's all the rich apartments and houses that are along the river there.
How isn't your head coming
And
off?
There's no way to get out of the water there because it's just like a stone wall, and then like the houses. So we're like going along, and we get to the point where we can't get out. So we're like, all right, we can either go back, and then it's going to take us way longer to get home, or we can just keep going. So we just keep going, walking in like ankle deep water, and there's crawdads coming at our feet and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we're walking for like an hour through this water, just going like slow because we're in water and it's getting deeper and there's slippery rocks and shit. And like, we're just like, me and Matt are fine because we're used to doing this kind of shit. But the other kid doesn't really, he lived with like his grandma and she'd always make him stay home and stuff like that.
Foamy?
So yeah.
Was this Tyler?
Yes. I don't know how you remembered who Tyler was.
Because it's his grandma.
Yeah, he lived with his grandma. But,
that kid was a crybaby.
That kid wasn't. Exactly. This is where the story's going. He was a crybaby. So we're out there and we're just walking. Me and Matt are all cool. We're going, and he starts like, "Oh, I'm tired of walking through this water." And he's like, "I want to just go home." And he starts complaining, and we're like, "Dude, we just got to keep going a little bit longer, and then we'll get there." And he's like, "No," and he's like, "I'm gonna die here in the water, basically in the ankle deep water."
In the
And he
ankle
starts freaking out. We're like, "Dude, just calm down." He starts yelling at like the rich houses for somebody to come get him out of the water. We're like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Help!" He like yelling, and we're just like, "What are you doing?" Like it was just so.
What a baby!
Exactly.
It
was so bizarre. He's just like basically almost to the point of crying because he's just so upset that he has to walk another like half a mile through this water to get over to our house.
So the first episode we had Josh on. He told a very funny story of when he was
brought some gold.
A little kid. He brought some good gold. A little bit of red too. Lots of crimson gold going on there at a fast food place of all places. Check out Josh in his first episode.
One time when I was younger, I remember, and I actually have a scar from it right now. I was going with my stepdad to like a fast food store, like Wendy's or something like that, and he had his hand sitting on my head, just sitting on my head, and it bugged the hell out of me. It bugged the living fuck out of me with his hand just sitting there on my head because he big old hands sitting plopped on my head the entire time. And no matter what I did, no matter how much I moved my head around, he would not take that goddamn hand off of my head. So my thought...
Yeah, he's a jokester.
He was sitting there...
Sometimes.
Yeah, he was sitting there, like, ordering food and stuff, and his hand is just on my head, and I'm just like, motherfucker, get your hand off my head. So my thought process as, like, 6 or something like that was, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull my head back, and I'm going to throw it forward and pull it back really fast, and his hand's going to slip off my head, and his hand is going to be off my head then. Well, what I did was pulled my head back and slammed it forward directly into the corner of a freaking, of the, like...
The dash?
Yeah, well... in the fast food place.
Oh, I got you.
So, like, that super hard material of where
you weren't in the car, you were in the
of
restaurant.
where they keep the cash register, and I just slammed my forehead into it, and he, like, calls my mom on his way home, and he's just like, dude, like, your son just busted his head open bleeding because I don't even know why.
I was trying to hold his head still, but he lost.
And just
lost
smashed
control.
his head open, bleeding on the freaking Wendy's counter, man. Like, your kid is nuts.
Sometimes you forget about the obstacles that are around you when you try to make a sweet maneuver or something like that.
Especially then, you don't think, maybe there's a counter, like,
oh
a
man,
foot
with
away
a nice
from my
sharp
head.
corner and stuff. You, like, literally split your head open or whatever. Damn, that's
I have
crazy.
a scar on my forehead from it.
Not only were you a vandal as a kid, apparently you were almost a murderer as a kid.
I was trying to save you.
So you say.
Yeah, we'll let everyone else be the judge of that. I'm surprised I didn't kill Steve when we were growing up because...
No, dude, I was a terrified child.
Because I would have nightmares. I remember this one nightmare that scared the shit out of me. I used to always be afraid of the theme song of the X-Files. Like... So one time I had a dream, I don't know where it was, but this guy got sucked up into an industrial fan and got his head chopped off. And that was scary as fuck to me, because right after he did that, the X-Files song came on in my dream. And I was scared to hell of some alien-ass fans coming after us and killing us. So I was down in the bed with Steve,
I went down and laid in the bed with Steve, but I would hide under the blankets, and I didn't want him to get my brother Steve, so I would cover his head with the blanket too. That's why I was surprised I didn't kill him.
The blanket's gonna magically help you.
And every time I'd wake back up, he had uncovered his face, but I'd cover back up his face.
It's probably mom coming in and doing it.
No, I'm pretty sure you did it.
She talks about that, how you used to cover your head when you were asleep, but she'd have to come in and uncover it so you didn't suffocate.
So yeah, I was trying to kill my brother, but at the same time I was trying to protect him from scary ass industrial fans.
If he was gonna die, you were gonna be the one to kill him.
That's right.
I don't know. I've never had a problem breathing under the blanket. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, you know what?
I always was the one that had to see. I had to be staring at the door if something was going to come in and kill me.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy our all-time favorite Keith story, The Tale of Sticky. Sticky now!
I can tell you drunk stories about stupid friends fucking doing shit when I'm trying to sleep and fucking waking up to, no, I don't want to hit you, man. Fucking, no, I don't want to hit you.
You put a finger in your mouth, bro.
Tell me
No, he didn't. I didn't. Our friend Jeremy didn't even punch him. Just decided to like
open hand smack
and tooth flies. Ow.
What? Oh, wow.
The dude's like so proud of it. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking dipshit.
Is that possibly why he told him to hit him? He had a loose tooth. He wanted that shit out of there.
No, he still wants to get hit to this day. He just likes picking fights.
Hit me, bro.
Yeah, fucking every time he would get drunk and we'd have people over there way too aggro. And he knows I'm aggro, but I hold my shit and I'm like, fucker, to leave me the fuck alone. I'm not like, I know I have anger issues, but I'm not fucking stupid like my other angry friends yet.
Well, just as a reminder, you got to remind me not to drink around you or have alcohol. We don't want to have that kind of stuff.
I've come to found I'm the nicest.
You have to push back.
Yes, me too. I'm a really
you've
sappy,
seen me drunk. I don't get pissed off.
Keith gets a little silly, that's it.
I'll get silly. And I stay fun, but when you have one of those asshole friends around, that's when I'm like,
Oh, we got one. Guy, just make her go to bed real quick. It's like, nobody's dealing with that shit. You're done.
That's what Keith's friend wanted to do. He just wanted to go to sleep.
No, I don't want to hit you. I want to go to sleep. That reminds me of
another time. Go sleep. Another time, we're sitting around a campfire outside, and one of our friends, he's kind of crippled. He broke both his knees 2 different times. One of them twice.
Ooh. Poor guy.
And he's
great preface.
He's skinny. He's literally a stick man. We call him Sticky for 2 different reasons.
And that's why he broke his knees.
Yep,
I can relate.
This guy was like, dude, hit me
without knees,
and make sure it's good. First swing, because they're all drunk. They're all like plastered. The first hit like clips him. Doesn't do shit. They're like redo, and the dude's like still like trying to get ready, but doesn't realize you don't do this when you're drunk for a reason. Dude comes in for another one. Boom. Doesn't knock him out, but he gets all irritated and pissed off. I wasn't ready, and then smacks our crippled friend. I'm like, I wanted to go in there. Terrible. I wanted to go in there and beat the shit out of him. We have an even more asshole-ish, but
he's more crippled friend.
Oh no, this is getting real bad. I don't want to be listening to stories of poor crippled people just getting their ass.
Oh no, this gets cool kind of vengeance. Cool kind of vengeance right here.
That crippled guy better beat him with his dead legs.
Use that shit like a hammer, man. Slam him.
This dude,
we're awful.
I know.
This dude Jose just comes in and says, "Why the fuck did you do that? Why the fuck did you smack him?" And they get all hyphy, and it just turns into this brawl. They're like ripping off their shirts and shit, and I'm like, "You guys are fucking ridiculous." And dude comes at Jose. Jose's at least twice his size. If he's like a 300-pound, 6 foot. I don't know. I think he's like
he's
5.
A big motherfucker.
Yeah, he's big. And this skinny dude
Is this the crippled guy?
No, not Sticky.
No, Sticky, no!
Sticky, no! Don't do it, you're gonna die! This other dude's taller than him, but he's so skinny, and I know I could take him. And he goes and takes on Jose, which he...
Get to it, what happened?
To
the
the floor.
Killing me. Just laid him out?
Yeah.
Laid him flat? Oh, man.
Jesus. It's like, why are you fucking picking a fight at a friendly well, we don't have a backyard. It's a front yard fucking...
Front yard bonfire? Front yard bonfire. Way better in the backyard bonfire.
All right, enough of that.
It was just...
Okay.
Sticky was never heard from me.
Poor Sticky.
No, he's alright nowadays.
All right. So our good buddy Edwin left us with a very, very, very good story. What he called was his all-time gold, his best story of all time.
It was one of the best for sure.
I have to say, this story had me in tears, literally crying for a good 2-3 minutes. Enjoy the Edwin Shitter block.
It actually reminds me of something else that happened. When we all worked there, in the front bathroom. One day I had to take a shit real bad. Like
that's why we had a family bathroom, so all the employees could take a shit in peace.
Yeah, I had.
I've never seen a customer come out of the family bathroom. It's always an employee.
Which is like the one thing they told you not to do.
Yeah,
to use the family bathroom.
Oh, I use it all the time.
I had just come in from pushing carts. It was a cold ass day, and there's some dude who. Yeah, I was just fucking remembering this is sad. I remember he was having a problem where I was about to shit myself. And I entered the stall. As soon as I did, he's like, oh, fucking goddamn it. Because I didn't realize until like a couple minutes in.
Little shits.
This guy had, he came in after I did, but he had to wait for the other guy to get out of the shitter.
So you cut.
No, I didn't cut him, but he's like on the slow moving mall carts.
Yeah,
he was like on our little motorized carts.
You just walked by.
I walked by. I walked in front of him. And the worst part is I took the handicap stall. So I got in there and I just like it just blew out of me. There was no way I was holding this back. And the stall next to me was busy with another guy. That guy took like 5 more minutes. And during that whole time, you know, I'm losing half of my body weight in this toilet. And I could hear outside of the stall, he's like, oh god damn it. Oh fuck. And he's just like he's like honking on the little car. And he's like, come on, god damn it. Fuck, I'm not gonna make it. He said it so many times. And then the worst part is, oh my god! The guy next to me was like, "I got you, chief." And he finished. He wasn't even done. He just finished. The other guy was like, "Oh fuck it, I didn't make it." So he just started shitting himself on the cart. Oh my god! But he wasn't done. Like he was able to hold part of it. Stop! I'm done. And he got into the stall, sat down. He's like, "Oh fuck, it's everywhere." He left his underwear in there. God. He left his shorts in there.
Oh my god, that went so much further than I thought it would.
And the thing is, because I know before I went in there that the guy had a sweater.
Oh shit!
So he left his shorts, he left his underwear in there. That reeked like. I mean, I'm still in the toilet, and this guy just like flops. You hear this like. This slop as his like shit-filled underwear and shorts hit the ground.
Oh my god!
And it's just like reeking. It's smelling so bad. I get in there. And he's just like, "Oh god, fucking." But the worst part is like, I don't know what I'm fucking do. I don't know what I'm fucking do. So what he ended up doing is he ended up tying his sweater around his waist, and he drove off in that mall cart. Outside in his car and left.
It was cold as hell too.
And the worst part is, the car pusher came in like 30 minutes later and he's like, there's shit on one of our mall cars. And there's shit all over the toilet. Like, as soon as I walked out, I flipped on the maintenance switch and like, they're not happy because I'm curious as hell. Like, I closed up my nose, I plugged my nose because it smelled terrible. I pushed that door stall open.
and there is shit on the seats. Like, this dude probably didn't even finish wiping. Well, he clearly didn't finish wiping. He just left. There was shit on the seat.
Fuck up, man.
The gross thing is, like, there was shit on the toilet paper dispenser. Like, this guy had shit.
This was all your fault, dude. It
wasn't my fault.
You could have walked to the other bathroom.
Because I was out of shit. I knew like, the other guy was going to crap his pants.
Literally.
But the dude out there's like, oh shit, I'm not going to make it.
I love
He's like, oh, fuck it.
I love the guys. I got you, Chief, and I just imagine him coming out like drawers half down and shit.
I got you, Chief. No, as soon as the guy was like, come on, you gotta hurry, I'm gonna shit myself. He's like, I got you, Chief, and he just like flushed and just like wiped and pulled his pants out and went.
Oh my god.
But by that time it was already too late to shit himself.
Oh, okay. Oh, enough of that, man.
It was fucking disgusting. I will never forget that smell. Like, it smelled like deep.
And with that, we are going to end. Thank you so much for listening to this look back at some of our all-time favorite moments. Hopefully you enjoyed them. We sure as hell did. If this is your first time listening to the show, our show is available on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and also YouTube. Go check that out. We got some awesome gaming videos as well as the podcast there. Also follow us on Twitter @FoolsBanter or go to facebook.com/FoolsBanter. Follow us there. Any reviews or feedback that you can send us on those things would be awesome. We got plenty more to come. We're going to keep doing this. We love doing it. And as always, clean your butts and have a good night.